Can you briefly describe the company history and main business of the Jomart?
Okay. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, my name is Yaya. I'm from Jomart. The company registered on 2019 under the SSM of SSM, Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia. Before the COVID, 2020, we start its operation at Dengkil. So, Dengkil is the HQ where we started our first business. So, we start our innovation in 2019 until 2023 because during the COVID time we couldn't do our job very smoothly because MCO, there was MCO 3.1, I can't remember that. That's why the innovation work was very delayed and we lost a lot of money because during those times, many businesses closed down, and luckily, my father, he was mentally quite strong, and with financially, that's why we have survived until today. So this is something that I wanna thanks to my father and also thanks to Allah because it's His mercy. That's why we could have survived until today.
The next question is, what inspired you to start and lead Jomart, and what are the mission and core value of the Jomart?
Okay, what led me to start this business? Actually, 15 years ago, my father actually used to do a convenience shop, like a kedai runcit, but he had the dreams to make it a bigger chain. So 15 years back, he used to do one kedai runcit in Puchong. So he was doing that for around 3 to 5 years. Then, of course, definitely he has other businesses, so he was running other businesses, and then when the right time came, so he still have the dreams to do the supermarket business. And what are the mission and vision, is it?
Yeah.
So the mission will be, definitely we'll try to give the best to customers, and also the pricing, we try to be the lowest around the market. But of course, we cannot beat with some of the competitor like 99, because 99 is I would say they are the killers. They are very cheap because they only sell grocery items, and also they have like more than 3,000 outlets the whole Malaysia. And our vision, definitely we have planning to open more branches like in 5 years. Of course, definitely everybody have a dream to make it bigger day-to-day basis. Yeah.
So how does your leadership influence the company direction and success?
See, there's two different things. One is boss, another one is leadership.
Yeah.
Boss would say, hey, do this, I do that. There is a time you can do that, and there is a time you have to say, hey, let's do together. So that's when the staff feels motivated and also feel valued. But of course, there is a time, when the company has already have a rules and regulation. But let's say if the staff don't listen, definitely you have to take legal action because of one person you cannot ruin the whole of the company rules. So that's why sometimes like in a carton, when you have a tomato, right, and there is a one damage, you have to take out the one damage. You cannot let others all spoil because of the one.
Next question is, what set the company apart in its industry?
So my plan and my father's plan is a family business, so definitely I want to make it to become more comfort zone for customers, so the customer will feel like they are worth to shop, to shopping at Jomart, in terms of the freshness, in terms of the pricing, and in terms of the stuff. Actually, one of the reasons for customers to come to your shop is also the stuff. When you talk to customer very politely and also with respect, definitely I'm sure the customer will want to come again and buy the groceries. Because everywhere we have 99, we have Mydin, we have so many business. Most everyone sell the same things. But why some of them more success, why some of them not success as the others, is in terms of the service. Sometimes pricing is not number one issue, but besides that, example, the environment and also the freshness of the items, yeah, and so on.
So we go to the next part is how does Jomat manage its supplier to ensure smooth operation of the value chain?
So like Jomat itself, we have around 400 accounts. You know, so from fresh until to department store. Like Dengki, we have department store. For example, we sell clothes, we sell all the kitchen household items, you know, kitchen utensils and many others. Like over here in Jomat Cybershop, we only sell like food items. We don't sell any what you call department items. So that's the first part. And the second, we have around 400 accounts. The second part is that, you know, like some supplier, you know, like for example, we sell sugars, we sell Maggi, we sell chicken. So some of the supplier, you have to pay day to day. And some suppliers, they give us credit terms 14 days. And some of the suppliers give us credit terms 30 days. So when the times come, you have to pay the payment. So when you want your stock to be smoothly delivered, the payment you have to also pay smoothly so that it won't affect the delivery. That's how we manage and take care of our suppliers to become our like good service and also loyal to us.
Okay, so the next question is how is inventory control to support efficient delivery of product or services?
Okay, to control this one, first of all, we need to have a person in charge called storekeeper. You know, storekeeper will ensure the stock availability and also stock balance. Of course, he will inform the person above him. For example, you say, hey, we need Maggi. We only have 10 carton stock. You know, we need to order as soon as possible. Otherwise, we will be out of stock. So the storekeeper is the one who will keep eyes on the stocks so that we can order the items time to time. How does Jomat
Coordinate logistics to maximize value for customers.
So when you have like one outlet, it's easy to manage. But when you have like more than one outlet, so you need to have a proper transportation, and also you need to have drivers. You need to have the person who will arrange the items. It's become like a whole circle. So to do anything smoothly, you need to have a team. So when you have a team, then only you can direct. Okay, this person doing this, that person doing that. So the circle will be easier for everybody. Yeah, so basically you need a good circle to work together. You know, if you have a teamwork, then it will be easy for everyone.
Okay, so the next question is what challenge occur in the supply chain and how do they impact the value chain of Jomat?
Okay, so basically when we have like more than 20,000 items, so you know, like sometimes some of the items, fast moving items, we can't fulfill. It's not because we don't want. Sometimes our suppliers, they are short of stocks or short of supply. So that's the reason we need to have a backup supplier. That's how we keep our stock level healthy for the customers.
Okay. How does collaboration with partner enhance Jomat overall value creation?
So like basically we have like I said, recently we have around 400 accounts. So definitely like in terms of the payment side, we have to be very smooth, and also time to time we will call them and just meet up, just to have a like cup of tea or coffee. So we have to understand better with the suppliers, you know, so that they can support us continuously in terms of the pricing, the lowest price, you know. So of course, those kind of relationship is very important with the suppliers. Because if you don't meet them quite often it's not like weekly, maybe like once a month, you know, it's very important. It's like marriage. I always tell like my staff, marriage is like, the business is like marriage. You know, like when you don't communicate with your wife for a few days, what does it feel? It feels like a bit weird.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with the suppliers. If you don't communicate like at least once a month, then the relationship will be dull.
Okay, so the next part is how is technology integrate into daily Jomat operation?
Okay. You know, like now is 2025.
Yeah.
It's the time science and technology. You know, like
AI.
like AI, artificial intelligence. Like few decades back, it was the time of not science and technology. It was the time of, you know, different era.
Yeah.
So now everything is
Technology.
and everything is on your finger, you know. Everything you can control on your finger right nowadays. If you want to become smart or become stupid, everything is on your phone.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to become good person, bad person, you don't have to go out. You can do everything in your phone. So that's why now phone is a very big impact to everybody. So my advice is that don't let the technology control you. You have to control the technology, because technology is not a human. Technology is a machine, and machine don't have common sense like human. Can never be. But of course they work faster than human. They can work without rest. Like in our business, Jomat, of course, some of the technology have helped us a lot. For example, you know, like when the lorry come to deliver goods, we have a forklift. Let's say if you don't have forklift, you need to use the manpower to load one pallet. It will take like at least half an hour. You know, but with pallet, it's just 1 minute. It's done. The job is done. Actually, technology is good for us to follow, but it's just that don't let the technology control us. When the technology controls us, then it will be negatively effect on us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are there any innovation in the process that improve efficiency?
Since we opened like 2019 until 2025, there are many things that we improve, especially like with the technology, and in future also I will try to implement all the AI to the company so that it can run smoothly. It's just that you have to know that the costing. You know, like sometimes the AI you have to invest like one lump sum amount, which is quite big. So you have to think. You have to see the business growth. You have to see how is the business doing. If the business is doing really well, not doing any losses, you can implement. But if the business is not doing so well, then it's better to hold first than run manually first. You know? So you have to see the pros and cons. Then only take decision and then discuss with your higher management teams to get a feedback from them, because one person can do so little, like a team can do much better.
Yeah. So, how does Jomat adapt to change in technology within its industry?
Yeah, like within industry, whatever I could change, then I will change. Whatever is not I can afford, I will not do now. Then I will do when time comes at the right time.
Is that in the future you will have an app to serve the customer better?
Definitely, we have a plan. That's also one of our mission. Of course, definitely, we will try to create an apps so the customer can order online.
Yeah.
You know, definitely we have a plan for that. It's just that the time has come yet. Yeah.
So, what role does data play in operational decision making?
Oh, very big data. It's a very important question, and also this one play a very big role, because you know, like we have thousands of items.
Yeah.
So sometimes manually you cannot track. It's very hard to track. So definitely you need a system. If you don't have a system, then I don't think so we can run even a small Pidarium chip, because you know, like machines, system, they can help us in many ways, especially like to record the data, to give us a report on what are we selling the most, what is the slow moving, what is the fast moving item, and when did the last receive stocks. So many report that the system can help you to print and look into it. So that's why any business that you want to do, it's better to implement a system before you start the actual business, so that the system can help you to track on is there any losses that you're making, or is there any profit that you're making. So which direction you're going, you have to know with the help of this system and everything.
Alright. So, how does technology help reduce error or improve quality of Jomat?
So like our Jomat, at least like every month we will do a board meeting, like with the operation team. We will call out everyone and we will ask them to print a report on, you know, like this month, what are the fast moving items, what item we sell the most, and what item is the very slow moving. So we will come with all this kind of report from different departments, like IT department, from purchasing department, from receiving department, from frontliners, for example, cashier, the chief cashier. So we will call all these people, and then we have a seat, and then we will discuss. So from there we find out, oh, actually we can't do this, we have to improve this department, we cannot do this way, we have to do that way. Yeah, that's how we solve our small issues, like day-to-day issues.
Okay. So the next question is how does Jomat maintain product or service quality as part of its core process?
Yeah, so since we have a few departments, so each person has to play each role, because it's not possible for the boss to do everything. Every company has a boss, and without the boss there will be no staff. Without the staff they cannot be boss. So actually they need each other. To call me boss, there must be somebody who call, right?
Yeah.
And for me also need staff also to run the business. So actually both ways are important, and also the most important thing is that the trust and integrity. See, everybody can do this job, that job, everybody can do, but not everybody has the integrity and trust. So sometimes many boss, not only Jomat, like I could say like at least 90%, even though the education level is not very good, but if they have trust and integrity, then I think the boss will take that particular person for the company.
Okay. So the next question is how does customer feedback influence process improvement and value creation?
Jomat, we have a social media platform, we have Google reviews, we have Grab, we have this, we have that. So all this platform, like sometimes the customer will give comments on that. Customer will give bad comments, good comments. So we will compile everything, and then we have a meeting. So from there we try to improve the customer service, because sometimes the staff might be lying to us. Sometimes the staff, maybe he does something with the customer. Definitely they will not tell the boss, right?
Yeah.
So from the comments we can get the truth.
How is customer satisfaction measured and integrated into the value chain?
Like sometimes customer give a complaint and then we give a feedback. We will say like sorry and so on. And then sometimes if the complaint is very very terrible, then we will call the customer, and then we will arrange like a lunch or dinner for them, so that we can get the trust back from them, and in the end you have to say that we are sorry, we will improve, we will not happen again the same mistake that we happened last time. So that's how actually it's all through communications. Anything that you want to solve is through communications. That's why communication is the most important key to success.
Alright. So what quality assurance standards are followed to support Jomat value chain?
Yeah, so like Jomat, we have rules and regulations. So we have a HR department. So the HR department, before we take anyone to a company, so we have a rules and regulation which is mentioned in the offer letter. So the staff has to go through all the pros and cons. They has to read everything before confirming the agreement and before joining the job. Then only after read and agreed, then only we will take. So which includes, like you cannot share the company secret to other people. You have to follow the rules like the shoes, the safety, and in terms of the integrity, in terms of to do the best for the company, those kind of things like we will ask during the interviews. Yeah.
So how are complaint or defect addressed to maintain the efficiency of business process?
Of course, we receive many good and bad comments, bad feedback from customers, and sometimes customer also, you have to see the customer. Sometimes customer also lies.
Yeah.
If our staff, they say, "Why are you doing like this?" And then maybe the customer will say, he told me stupid or something like that. The customer will try to add something, add something to make it more worse.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's why we have a CCTV, we have a witness, somebody around the customers. So from there we try to improve our quality, our service. But of course, like nobody is perfect in this world, so we try to improve to be the best one. But of course not perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so how do Jomat core process contribute to delivering value to customers?
Okay, so you know, like in Malaysia or in Johor or in Maidin, we have thousands of product, you know, maybe 20,000, 30,000 SKU. We will only bring the product which can sell. For example, if I sell some items like which I don't have demand, why would I sell? And you know, like if I sell that product, it will just go on the shelf. I cannot move. So that's why you only need to bring in the product which can sell. Then only it's worth to sell. Otherwise, it's lost in terms of you have to pay to supplier even though you haven't sold the product. You know, so normally like any new product, we will try to sell for 3 months. So like we call a test market. So when we can sell, then we will continue. Otherwise, we will inform the supplier, hey, your product is cannot sell. Can you try other place? That's how we.
So, how does Johmat ensure that its operation align with strategy objective?
Yeah, of course. Every company they have an objective, you know, for every month and every year. Sometimes there are months that you can achieve the objective, and there are months that you can't achieve the objective. So what we do is we do a meeting. We try to improve which section or which department is not doing well. We try to improve. You know, like anything, any business that you do, there will be always weaknesses. So we will just try to improve. You know, we try to make less error to become the best in the market.
So how are resources allocated to maximize the value created in the business process?
So like I said, we try to maintain with the suppliers, and also we try to order time to time by, you know, the storekeeper, like I was saying, there is a storekeeper who is the person in charge for that, so that he's the one who will inform the person in charge to order the items and make sure the items are there before it's finished. That's how we control.
Okay. So how does the company maintain a competitive advantage through its organizational packaging?
Like I said just now, we have a team. They do survey every week to 99 other supermarket which is nearby to us, like within 3 to 5 kilometers. We do a price survey, at least like top 30 items or top 50 items, so that we can compare the prices with them. And some of the product, sometimes we are cheaper by 20 cents, 30 cents, and sometimes we are higher by 30 cents, 40 cents. So it's not always we are cheap, or it's not always we are expensive. It's always varies, you know. But so in Malaysia, among the market, I would say like 99 is the cheapest. So now we also like try to fight some of the price with the 99. So definitely, like we have a pros and cons as well, and they have a pros and cons as well. For example, we have Pasaraya, but we also have a fresh market. But 99, they don't have a fresh market. So sometimes customer prefer to go where they can get everything in one shot. For example, a single, not married person, he will just go to 99 and grab 1-2 item and then just go home. It depends on the person, and also normally family they will go to a place where they can get everything in one shot.
So what lessons have been learned from refining process to strengthen the value chain?
A lot. I learned a lot. I learned a lot, good, bad, everything. So like you know, like right now we have a supermarket, we have Aicha, we have quite other businesses. So every business has its own challenge, and every business has its pros and cons. So you just have to be patient. You know, sometimes you want something within a month, but you cannot achieve within a month. So it will take 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 1 year. So the most important thing is that you have to be consistent. You have to believe in yourself. You have to work hard. So besides working hard, you also need to work smart. You know, for example, I will give you an example. What is hardworking and work smart? You have staff to do the display items at the supermarket. So you cannot do the same thing as a boss. You cannot do the same thing. You have to do something which is above them. You know, for example, how to increase the sales. You know, is there any items that we don't have yet? Because that job, the staff will not know. Only I have to think a bigger picture. As a management, as a boss, we have to see a bigger picture so that we can improve the overall company's process. And of course, definitely you want to grow for the company. Any company, of course, don't want to be bankrupt. No company want to be bankrupt or no company want to be lost. So I suppose you have to be smart enough to think what next step that you have to take. You know, because in business there are a lot of challenges and competitors. So that's the challenge. Sometimes to do anything, you have to like think twice. You have to think 10 years ahead. Whatever has passed is actually can't do anything. Only what's gonna happen in future we have to worry. Of course, that can be not perfect, but at least you discuss and try. Sometimes it's better trying than rather than not trying at all. Yeah.
So how does Jomat identify area for improvement within its core business process?
You know, like sometimes we cannot trust the staff 100%. You know, don't say the staff, even your brother or your sister or whatever, you cannot trust 100%. You know, 5% you have to keep with you, because if you trust 100%, that means you have given all the responsibility to them. You can't do that. You need to have at least 5 to 10% keep in yourself. That means you have to go with yourself to see everything, because you know your cost. You have to pay the salary, you have to pay the rental. Every month is a burden for the boss. So that's why sometimes when you are not so big, of course, sometimes when you become so big, it's hard to manage. But from the small, you know, from the small itself, you have to start focus. You have to start give, you know, push. Because if you don't start pushing from now, then it will be very hard later on. So any job that you do, you have to love it. Then only you can do great. Otherwise, if somebody force you to do, you know, that won't happen.
So how are risks in the value chain managed to prevent disruption?
Sometimes there are risks that which you are not control of. For example, if TNB suddenly goes off, you can't do anything. So the problem that risk that you can't control is cannot do anything. You have to just be patient and try. But the risk that you can prevent is that within each company, for example, there will be one manager or supervisor who will monitor the temperature of the freezer, especially with which use current. You know, for example, the freezer, the chiller, the ice machine. That is the most occur that in the supermarket business. That one we have to always control by seeing the temperature. You know, we have to see at least one day, 3 times, 4 times. That's how we manage.
Okay, so how does Jomat ensure sustainability or social responsibility within its operation?
So we have a customer service department. So any complaint that we receive, we will try to take action as soon as possible, so that we can make the customer as happy as normal. You know, because we don't want the customer to be unhappy with Jomat and then make a different face. You know, we try to solve any issue, any serious issue. For example, sometimes there are complaints that chicken is bad. You know, sometimes there are complaints that veggie is damaged. Of course, this problem can occur, but we try to solve as soon as possible without delay. Yeah.
So how do internal and external collaboration strengthen Jomat value chain?
You know, like we have a company rules and regulation, and we also outsource a company, like audit company, to do audit for our supermarket. You know, sometimes the staff will just simply audit. You know, even though the marks has to give 7, but they will try to give 9 or 10. You know, so that's why we call third-party audit, so that they will check in manners. So then only we will get the accuracy in the result.
Alright, so the last question is, how does Jomat evaluate the overall effectiveness of its value chain in achieving business goals?
Okay. So everything, you know, that I was talking like for almost 1 hour. Everything you have to see the result. Anything before you talk, before you complain, before you get angry, you will see the result. You take up all the data. Okay, from here you take some, from there you take some, from there you take some. So that the staff or the person in charge for each department cannot say that you are wrong. As a boss, you are wrong. So you have to talk with the fact. So when you talk with the fact, when you show the truth, when you show with the data, with the proof, then only the staff cannot talk. They have to be quiet and they just have to follow.
To
You know,
accept.
to accept. Yeah. Sometimes they will just talk when you don't have the proof.
They will twist back.
They will twist back. So that's why it's better to have proof. To have a proof is not to blame them. It's just to make them realize and to improve only. You know. Yeah.
So that's all for our session. Thank you so much.